Brian, welcome to the Zinzino Director Call today, and I'm going to hand it over to you, my friend. The floor is yours, and we appreciate you taking time to invest and pouring into our leadership community.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dave. How long do I have today?
I think, Brian, we've got two other key speakers, so good 25 minutes, at least
right.
25, 30 minutes.
Super. Then I'm going to fit in as much as possible I can in that 25 minutes. And I know there are probably people here that already know me because I've been speaking with Zinzino for some years. And much of what we do with goal mapping is at the request, actually, of Hilda in the past. And I'll explain that in a moment. And I want to give everybody access to the latest developments with the materials, because it's not listening to me that will make the system I have work for you. It's work in the system that makes it work. And in these 25 minutes, I do my best to inspire you to go use the system and show you the information and the key points so you're empowered to go do it. And once you know it, you know it. You can use it for the rest of your life. I've got a presentation I want to share. I'm just looking at the time now. I'm going to pace myself as quickly as I can, but I'll speak clearly because I know that for many people, the first language is not English. If anyone has questions as we move through the presentation, please write them in the chat. My partner in life and business, Vicky, is also on the call. She will do her best to answer technical questions or questions about the system. I've also heard Kristen Flame is on the call, and Kristen is one of our certified coaches and trainers. There are a couple of people with Zinzino that are also coaches and trainers of the goal mapping system. There are more than 1,500 coaches and trainers in the world, many in the Nordic countries where goal mapping is particularly popular. And some of those coaches and trainers are also with Zinzino. So if you would wish to, Christine, it would be nice if there are any questions people are asking as we go through, you can answer. And also, of course, I will try and fit time at the end to answer any questions anyone has. I'm going to spotlight my video and then bring up the PowerPoint presentation with my video in the corner, right? Is it clear for everyone? Everyone can see it? All right, super. So we have a special branded, focused program on goal mapping just for Zinzino. It was actually what I created at the request of Hilda in 2020. And some people know about it and some people do not. It's only for Zinzino people. And if you would like to join, then you can just go and join for free. If you are new to goal mapping, then in joining, you'll be creating your own goal mapping account. If you already have a goal mapping account, you can simply log in this special area, and it's going to take you into the Zinzino team. I'm going to switch for just a moment from being on a PowerPoint presentation to going to the website live. So this is the special Zinzino team area. If I scroll down, we've got very focused video on how you use goal mapping to build your Zinzino business. And again, I'm going to say to you, this was something that was created specifically at the request of Hilda, because she wanted a focused area where people could go and learn how to apply goal mapping to build their Zinzino business. This is all at the free level that I'm showing you here. There's downloads and, of course, the goal mapping software so that you can create your goal map. And if I open up this one, you're going to see how it looks. And this is an example of creating a goal map to build your Zinzino business so that you can look at this map and have something to follow. What's important is you go build your own. Okay, knowing somebody else's map isn't going to help you. And the rest of the presentation that we have time for is going to be explaining why this is so important and why I've been teaching it now for 30 years around the world, reaching more than 5 million people. I'll share my story with you briefly as we go through as quickly as I can, but the key thing is helping you know the system. Now, there isn't time for me today to actually coach you through the system. I do that a lot. But when there's a longer presentation, I need an hour, maybe 2 hours to coach a group of people through doing their map. But I run regular presentations. I have one tonight. The recordings are placed into the team areas. If you go to the Zinzino team, you will see their recording of me demonstrating and coaching people in creating their goal maps. I'm going to say it one more time. It's not listening to me that's going to make it work for you. Right? It's going and setting your own goals in the form of a goal map that's going to make it work for you. My speaking career started 30 years ago. In 1993, this picture is actually 1994, and the message has stayed consistent. And I work with many multi-level marketing organizations and big businesses around the world. The message is simple. Your thoughts create your reality in yourself as a person and also in the results that you achieve in life. It's a simple message. It's a very ancient message. And what you will find with ancient wisdom, it's at essence. It's simple. That doesn't mean it's easy, but it's simple in principle. And my goal mapping book is in many different languages, including some of the Nordic languages. In total, the goal mapping has been translated into 25, maybe 30 languages. Big business are using goal mapping. Microsoft have given goal mapping to 200,000 people around the world. British Telecom, 70,000 people. Siemens, Disney, Coca-Cola. But my real passion was helping students with goal mapping. This is a group of students in Italy, but we have schools in Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, England, Ireland, America, Canada, Australia, so many countries, even some countries I've never been to are using goal mapping. And a lot of African countries now using goal mapping to help their students. Sports people are using goal mapping. Health and dietitian people are using goal mapping. People in the well-being industry are using goal mapping. Because think about this for a moment. Whatever you want to achieve in any area of your life, it requires setting some goals. It requires getting clear about what you want to achieve and then learning how to program that into your being, into your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, and superconscious mind. And I hear many people talk about, yeah, I'm just going to go with the flow. Well, that's also a goal, right? So I'm going to go with the flow is a goal. And the flow goes everywhere in life. And sometimes the flow may take you to somewhere you don't want to go. What you do want is to be in flow state. Flow state means you're relaxed and you're creative and you are flowing, but it's a purposeful flow. It's a flow to the place you want to go, whether that's building yours and Zeno business big or anything else. In addition to working with organizations of all types, I work with other personal development speakers. 2 workshops for Tony Robbins in the last year, to his top customers, the Platinum Partners. And I just make this one point, we're going to move on. Tony Robbins, top coach in the world, has his own goal setting system. He doesn't need to pay me to teach mine, but he has done for many years because of the power of the system. This is Zinzino in Norway, 2016, 2,500 Zinzino partners creating their goal maps. This is when I started taking the Zinzino product. I've become sold and fantastic. The limitation here was that I couldn't follow through easily with people to help them max up the power of their goal map, follow through and achieve their dreams. Because at this time, goal mapping was mostly on paper. And what we now have is goal mapping online. And maybe you can hear I'm quite passionate about the program. I come from a gypsy family. I never went to school very much. I never learned to read and write. And at age 29, although I had been successful, I owned a nightclub for some time, and I was an early entrepreneur at 13 with video games in my father's amusement arcade. But at 29, my life changed, the family business crashed, and I went from being worth a lot of money to owing a lot of money. So at 29, I was £1 million in debt, 1992. And my home had been repossessed, and my marriage came to an end because of the stress. I had no qualifications because I left school at 13. I didn't even learn to read or write. I had no work experience. I only ever worked for myself and my father. I was suicidal, and life was looking so dark. My parents were 65. Their home was going to be repossessed. My brother's home had been repossessed. The whole family was wiped out by the disaster. And the thing that saved me was multi-level marketing. I joined a multi-level marketing organization here in the United Kingdom, and I wasn't very good at it at first. People weren't buying my product. Nobody wanted to join my team. It wasn't very good at first, but it became the greatest thing in my life. I met an amazing coach. He was my upline, and he started to teach me the science of positive thinking and how to set goals, and that success, long-term success in life, whether that's success in your Zanzino business or in your relationships or your health or any area of life, long-term success is never an accident. It is always purposeful. You can have random success that is an accident. Winning the lottery is mostly accident, okay? But it's momentary success. It's not lasting success. In fact, many people who win the lottery are no better 5-10 years later. Purposeful success is consciously chosen, consciously created success. And it really starts with understanding success is not an accident. Success in any area of life is a formula. There are fundamental, universal principles that have actually been known since the most ancient times. You will find them in the wisdom literature around the world. When you follow the principles of success and you learn how to set goals in a successful way, it helps you to unlock your potential and achieve your dreams. Within 1 year of learning this, I had overcome my dyslexia and taught myself to read. I stimulated new brain cell connections. When I learned to read, I wanted to read all of the books. My coach directed me, read personal development. I started to learn the principles, the ancient principles of success. I applied them to my network marketing. I went from the lowest in the team to the highest in the team. Lots of my team wanted presentations, and gradually my main activity became making presentations for people about how I had changed my life. Now, it took me 10 years to pay back the £1 million debt. But within 1 year, I had made such progress that I knew I could do it. And it just becomes something that gradually I cleared away so that my parents could keep their house. And I was recruited as a trainer, making presentations for many people. And many people were asking me, wow, why didn't I see this when I was younger? Why didn't I learn this when I was at school? And those were my questions. For me, learning the science of positive thinking and how to set goals was like the special combination that set me free. And I was able to create my reality. Driving my car late one night through London, I had a flash of insight that came, that is the goal mapping system. And I find that so many people stop setting goals because they become disappointed that they didn't achieve them. If you have ever set a goal and not achieved it, it is most likely you didn't have the right goal setting system to begin with. So many people try setting their goals by writing their goals down on paper. It is not enough. When you're writing your goals, even if you're using a formula such as SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, time-bound, it means that you are only activating one half of your brain, your left brain that thinks mostly in words. Maybe you've been using a dream board or a vision board to try and achieve your goals. I have many people come to me with their dream board, their vision board, and they have nice pictures of the lifestyle they wish and some feelings. But there is no words, no clarity, no precision, no action plan, no achievement date. And again, it is incomplete. It is only really applying to one half of the brain, the right brain. The reason why goal mapping has reached more than 5 million people and used by such a wide variety, including top coaches, is because it helps to activate whole brain. When I first started teaching goal mapping in 1995, I thought it was something really new, that I discovered this new thing. Nobody else I could see in the world was using a system of words and pictures to help activate the whole brain. But then 5 years later, in 1999, I was invited to a Hindu ceremony. And I was amazed to watch the Brahmin priest chant the mantra while looking at the yantra. A mantra is a chant we make with words. We chant an affirmation. I am happy, I am peace, I am love. Now the Buddhists do the same thing, and as they chant the words, the mantra, they look at a picture, a yantra. The picture is sometimes drawn on paper, sometimes as they chant the words, they create the picture pattern, the mandala. Sometimes they use colored sand, sometimes colored rice. But think about what they're doing. Words and pictures, whole brain activation. If somebody has an accident and the left side of their brain is damaged, like a stroke, for instance, they can't speak afterwards because the left side of the brain is the side that processes words and speech. But if they set a goal, they can stimulate the other side of their brain to rewire itself and help them speak again. This is the essence of the latest scientific discoveries of neuroplasticity, that all of the brain can do all of the different things. But just because both sides of your brain can do all the different things, that doesn't mean it automatically does. Speaking and writing and words are mostly left brain. And that's why someone has a stroke. They can't do those things unless they set a goal to stimulate another part of the brain to rewire. One of my colleagues had a stroke on his right brain, and he lost spatial awareness and also the movement of the left side of his body, because the right brain is processing those things. And 3 years later now, by setting a goal, he's recovered the use of movement. His goal now is to learn to ski again. He's the head of the Nordic Walking Association in Italy. And I'm just explaining this to you to try and demonstrate the power of using words and pictures when you set your goal. Not just pictures and not just word. We need whole brain. Building your Zinzino big is a whole brain game. You want to be good with the right brain, creativity, imagination, look forwards. You want to be good with following the plan. When you create a goal map, right in the center is a main goal. And then on either side, we have more goals. Now, if this was a goal map about your life, they could be from all the different areas. But this is a goal map about building your Zinzino business. right in the center, the main goal. Whenever you're creating a goal map for building your Zinzino business, the main goal is always the next level or higher of achievement for you within the plan. Some people saying, oh, I live in a big house, I drive a nice car, I have financial security. All of those things are great goals, but they are not for the middle part of the map. They are for the top part of the map. They are your reasons why to build the Zinzino business. In the middle, you want your next level to reach for, and you want the aspects of that. How much product to supply to people, how many new partners to recruit, how many people to help within your team. Top of the map, these are the reasons why to build your business. Stronger the reason, greater the motivation. Do you know what? I've been making presentations for multi-level marketing organizations for so many years. And when I ask the leaders, okay, you've seen me present before, because often I'm presenting the same information more than 1 year. So I say, you've seen me present before. Is there a thing that you want me to really push, make it meaningful? The why, Brian. Talk about the big why. You see, the bigger the why, the more motivation you have. The bigger the why, the more you stay in the game. I love the words of the late, great Jim Rohn, the American speaker. I used to train his material in the early 90s. He says, people are prepared to pay the price if the promise is clear. Right? So if the promise of that better life that you desire is clear, because you have it in your goal map, words and pictures, you're prepared to pay the price of the effort that it takes to build that business. But here's the next part of the statement. If the promise isn't clear, the price is always too high. Right? So when you lose sight of the promise of why you're building your Zinzino business, the effort, the price of getting out there and doing what you need to do is always too high. People drop out. So here's what's really key, because we're into the last minutes. Create your goal map. The fifth step is to give a target date for achieving your main goal, because without a date, it's not a goal. It's only a wish or an intention. And that date allows you to create then an action plan. And let's say you've got a goal for your Zinzino business that is 2 years into the future, or 1 year, and your reasons why may be even longer than that. When it comes to the how, this part of the map, how you're going to do it, I'm recommending 90-day action plan. Because 90-day period is what you want to look ahead when you're planning your activity, regardless of the target date for the main goal. Final step, who? Who's going to help? Who's going to be involved? Upline, maybe you're even getting support cross-line. Of course, you want to inspire your downline. So the last part then, we all have billions of brain cells, and each of our 100 billion brain cells is separated by this little gap. It's called the synaptic gap. When you create a goal map, it helps you to think positively, and that positive thought releases a chemical into your brain called serotonin, which joins the brain cells together, creates the feeling of happiness, allows your thought to continue on its journey so that you have those aha moments. And through the release of the serotonin, you feel motivated to move forwards. Now, every time you have one of those light bulb moments, that's the joining of 2 or more brain cells. But very quickly, they break apart again. So here is a simple piece of neuroscience to remember. When you set a goal, it causes your brain cells to fire together. You see, goal setting is never a one-off activity. That's the mistake many people make when it comes to January and New Year. You should review your goals ongoing. And every time you remind remind yourself of your goal, what you're actually doing is stimulating the brain cells to fire together. And brain cells that fire together, they wire together. And reviewing your goals strengthens the brain cell connection. It gradually builds from an idea, a thought, to an opinion. Well, maybe I can do it. When you make the brain cell connection really strong by reminding yourself and visualizing your goal over and over, becomes a belief. The belief becomes a feeling of certainty. The brain cell connections help you to work with both sides of your brain. And through the right side of your brain, you're able to access your subconscious mind, like your own magical genie. Genies are all powerful. They can do amazing things. They can help your wishes come true, just like your subconscious mind can do for you. But the genie cannot wish for you. With your conscious mind, you are master of the land. Your most often thoughts become the genie's commands. What have you thought about most often? Is it success? Is it failure? Because unfortunately, if you're thinking about what you don't want, your subconscious gives you more of that. Imagine that all the thoughts you think are like a movie in your mind. Your subconscious genie reads the movie every moment, every day to keep you the same. That is how all of your habits are regulated. And if you want something more, something different, something new in your life, you must start to picture it first in your mind. Picture success in the Zinzino business, and your subconscious genie helps you achieve success. But if you're picturing failure, you're thinking, oh, I don't want to mess up. Oh, I don't want to hear no from that new person that I would like to introduce to the business. If you are thinking of the negative, even though you don't want it, it's like a sports person that starts to lose control of their mind. That's why sports people have mindset coaches, right? Because if the sports person, even top athletes, if they're thinking, I don't want to mess up, I don't want to mess up, guess what they get? A mess up, right? So we must think about what we want, not what we fear, because otherwise our subconscious genie gets confused and gives us more of what we don't want. And you watch young children, tell young child, don't touch. What do? Touch. Because their subconscious is at the surface. It doesn't understand. Many years ago, in one of my workshops, was a man who was a motorcycle instructor. And he was saying how many people are dying because of the holes in the road. And they're now retraining the motorcycle riders. And what they're teaching them is, be aware of the hole in the road, but whatever you do, don't stare at the hole. Because if you stare at the hole, your dominant thought becomes the command to your subconscious, and you actually move to the hole. There are many holes in the Zinzino journey, things we need to understand. We need to understand them to avoid them. And we need to understand don't get disappointed if you hear the word no. And we need to stay focused on the positive to get to where we want to go. So how do you maintain that balance of being aware of the negative, stay focused on the positive? Create your goal map, and use your goal map just like I do. My map is not here because I'm making a presentation to you. It's here because I use it. If you work it, it works. And again, it's back to what I said at the beginning. Not listening to me makes it work. Working it makes it work. Go sign up at the Zinzino goal mapping team. If I just show you one last thing, and this is really new, because when Hilda contacted a little while ago and said, could you make presentations, Brian? I was so pleased to do it, that I created this. You see here, this is the live website. I'm here in the Zinzino team. I just go to the home page. Let's click on that. And if you want me to guide you, in addition to the video here and the premium level at the bottom, where you can create your own private team to work with your downline. But in addition to all of that, the very new thing that I created only 1 week ago is here in the Zinzino journal. And so I've put all of the key points of what you need to do to create your Zinzino business goal map right here in this journal. This is an interactive journal. So for instance, here you can click and bring up the guided visualization of me guiding you to create your Zinzino goal map. And all you need to do is follow through with a simple instruction. We've got links to the maps, and we've got links to the empowerment tools, like creating your 90-day action plan, or using the advanced material, like creating your Zinzino leader map. Please do go and explore. I'm just going to remove the spotlight. I've gone 5 minutes over time, I think, there, Dave. So apologies for that post. One last time, everyone. You could listen to the recording 3-4 times and it won't help you as much as just taking the moments to go create your map. If you get unsure about any of it, you can email me, brian@goalmapping.com. And me or one of my team will just give you some free feedback on your map. Because remember, it's those small things that get the combination right. And so I can look at your map and I can tell you which things I would suggest changing to power up the map. The more powerful the map, it's like a self-hypnosis. It both commands your own subconscious mind as well as universal consciousness. So you're invoking law of attraction. Dave, back to you. I didn't check in with any questions, just looking at my partner, Vic, sat on the sofa in support. Anything you would like to ask Dave, or anything you've noticed from the chat, or anyone else you want me to cover before I hand back to you, and just thank everybody for joining.
Thank you, Brian. I think the chat has been handled by your beautiful partner in crime.
He is, isn't she?
And you can see, folks, you can see why Brian and his team are in demand as a global speaker, because not only does Brian give us great content, but there's action behind the advice. And one of the things I've literally just posted on social media is one of the biggest things I've taken away from today is listening to Brian doesn't mean it will work for you. Working the system that Brian's put together will work for you and us. So one of those things I've already visualized myself is our next speaker. And my goal mapping for 2024 is everyone's, you know, whether it be a financial goal, whether it be a business goal or a health and well-being goal. I've got our next speaker, our COO, Jacob Spiker. It's one of my visualizations, because you gotta aspire to be like something or somebody. And our next speaker is a picture of health and well-being. So he's already going to be going on my goal mapping for 2024. So can someone mute out, make sure everybody's muted? That'd be great. But Brian, again, thank you for you taking the time to pour into the Zinzino community. We truly value and appreciate the time and effort that you do. And this is an ongoing relationship. You know, you saw Brian say 2016. I took another thing, a big takeaway for me today. Not only is the goal mapping a tool and a resource, but to know that Brian actually embarked in the same industry as us. I didn't realize that. I've heard Brian talk 2 or 3 times now, but I saw that he saw this industry as
was my lifesaver, Dave.
There we go. I can echo that sentiment as well, Brian.
Thank you very much, mate. You've been a great host.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you to everyone for joining. And my apologies to Rin and some of the other goal mapping coaches that I noticed had also joined the call, but I didn't mention them earlier. So my apologies for that. Thank you for inviting me, Dave.
You're welcome, Brian. We'll have you back most definitely. Hilda values your contribution, as we all do. Appreciate it.
thank you. We've got a lot of presentations coming up, some of them focused just for helping people in network marketing. So I'll make sure the information is available for people.
Appreciate it. Take care.
Lovely. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye
Take care.
now.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Brian. So as I was saying, that Jacob Spiker, our Chief Operations Officer, he's going to be our next speaker today. But I've known Jacob now for 4 years, and there's two elements of Jacob that really inspires me: his energy level, his ability to serve the whole community. But he always reminds me also of a little bit of Jeff Bezos, right? It reminds me of Jeff Bezos because Jeff started in the garage with him when he started Amazon. And this man started in a small warehouse room when Zinzino was really just kick-starting. And now look at him. He's gone from the room to all over the world. I see him traveling all over the world now. And I think, if I wasn't mistaken, Jacob, I saw you in Turkey